Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How's everyone doing on this wonderful day? I'm Andrea, one of your admins, and Coach Lisa is on. She's one of your admin as well, and she's coming on for Healthy Mondays, and she prepared something special just for you. So we hope you enjoy it. Now I turn you over to Coach Lisa.
Thank you, Andrea. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Healthy Monday. My name is Lisa Horton. I am one of the admins of the group. And my session today is called It Takes Something to Start Something. It takes something to start something. So, although we are here to uplift you, we are here to motivate you and to just get you started on your purpose. You know, when we're in conversation with each other, um, we all have different personalities. We all hear things different. We all may say the wrong things at the wrong time. So we when we do that, it's conflict sometimes. And we have to know how to handle conflict. And we need to know how to handle conflict with grace. So it takes grace to it takes something to start something. So it takes grace to start grace. So I want to read a verse from Colossians 4:6. It says, "Let your speech always be gracious, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how you ought to answer each person." So this session is confronting others with grace. And sometimes it's difficult for us to do that because we avoid confrontations. We don't like conflict and we back away from conflict. And we do that because it feels negative and intimidating, and we don't know how the other person is going to respond. We are afraid that if we are rejected, we are going to lose fellowship with that person. But confrontation could be a good thing. I'm not saying that we should be confrontational, but we shouldn't back away from confrontation. Like I said, confrontation can be a good thing. It allows honesty and transparency in a relationship. So while confronting someone may not always end up with the best outcome we had in mind, people will value your honesty and will respect you for coming forward with your concerns. So here's some ways that we can confront people with grace. We can first listen. Come into the conversations with the intent to listen. Listen to the other person's um, value and where they're coming from. When you come with the intent to listen, we learn a lot. We learn a lot from the other person. We learn a lot for ourselves too. So we can, gather information, and then we can come with a healthy compromise. Confrontation can bridge the unity because it brings two people face to face with an opportunity to understand each other. So try not to walk away from confrontation because in the Bible it does say when two people disagree, come face to face with each other. The person comes face to face and see what the problem is. Don't go back and gossip because that's a sin. But we need to come face to face, and it could be a misunderstanding. Words are very powerful. So one word can kind of change the whole conversation around, and it turns into a conflict, and it's just a misunderstanding. So come to that person, and one of the things we could say is, well, I heard you say this. Maybe you heard it incorrectly. Maybe the person said it incorrectly. So it's always good to kind of bridge that gap. Okay, so we're going to use the sandwich approach to handle conflict. Um, what that is you wanna go with a positive feedback. So if someone wrongs you, instead of just attacking them on end, you can say, well, Lisa, I saw you did this, and it was very helpful, but you could have done this better. So what the person is doing, you getting into a positive tone when you come off like that, because a lot of us go by the way the person tells us, and then that knocks you. Your tone will knock it off completely. So if you come in with a positive tone, the person will be better to listen. So just like a sandwich, the first slice of bread is a positive, like I just explained. Start with genuine praise for something the person did well. That sets off a positive tone and makes them more receptive to what you have to say. Then deliver a constructive feedback thoughtfully. So constructive criticism is something that a person can learn. You're not attacking them, but you're giving them thoughtful, positive feedback. The approach is structured. It decreases conflict and it increases accountability by connecting the dots between what is wanted and what is needed. So be sure when you are in a constructive conflict with someone, focus on the behavior or action and not on the person. You're not trying to change who the person is. You just trying to change what they did or understand what they did or trying to communicate. So don't go in the conversation like you're attacking the person, because that conversation can go way to the left. Um Talk about the situation and how it made you feel. Then work toward a healthy compromise. Make sure that there's no ill feeling. Feelings that's not expressed between you and the parties involved could lead to bitterness and further strain on the relationships. So make sure that when you in a conflict or a confrontational communication with someone, make sure they understand, and don't leave the conversation, or at least ask, are you okay? Make sure there's no ill feelings, because that can be, we hold grudges and we don't want to do that. So we want to make sure that everybody is okay. Replace Another thing we can do, replace irritation with grace. We get irritated real quickly and then we just take it to another level. So ask the questions. Um, Ask, like I said, I heard you say. When you find yourself becoming angry or irritated or grumpy, put yourself in timeout. Instead of saying or doing things you might regret, ask God to help you respond with love and concern and not angry. So we encourage you to learn from each other. We are here to help each other, to instruct each other, to teach each other and learn. Everything might not come out pleasant, but just because we have a misunderstanding, we don't have to walk away angry. We don't have to destroy that relationship. God wants us all to get along, and he wants us all to encourage and love each other. But loving each other all the time might not be the easiest thing to do. But once we come out with love, that is pure love, and we can do it gracefully. So I'm hoping this has helped someone. It has helped me along the way. I know I have said stuff and did stuff too quickly. I thought about things too quickly. I didn't, ask God to look into my heart before I speak. So we always have to be careful of what we say to each other. Make sure that what we say come out of love, give each other grace so we can maintain a healthy relationship. Thank you. And that is my session. Andrea?
Wow, that was awesome. I was writing my notes, you all, and that was an awesome subject, and I think it really takes humility to be a person, to show grace, and I think it really takes integrity. If you can
Yes,
tell
ma'am.
someone something that maybe they offended you or something happened that you didn't like, and you confront them with grace, like Coach Lisa says, with humility, that takes that's maturity, that shows growth. So that was
Yeah.
awesome subject, and I had something like that happen to me today. Think So thank you so much for sharing that, because that really encouraged me. And where just someone that I know that was working, supposed to do something for me, and they didn't do it. And so I vented and I told her how I really felt, but in a humble way, because I said, I love you, I appreciate you, and I really said it in a humble way. And I know that was God, I believe, that helped me to confront that through a text. And it's no hard feelings. I don't know if she have hard feelings towards me, but sometimes if someone don't receive what you're saying, and you're saying it in humility, you're just venting, or you're telling, your part of the story or how you felt, which I think is important, right, Coach Lisa, to get things off your
Yes.
chest. But I
Yes.
think if you can do that with maturity, like I say, I love you, I appreciate you. At the end, I even sent her a smiling face. Um, and if they do not accept that apology, or what you're saying out of truth with humility, then maybe that person not supposed to be in your life. If they choose to, because some people can get offended because you boldly speak your mind, and if they get offended and they choose not to be your to communicate with you anymore, then you know what, you look at that as a good thing, because maybe God removed that person out of your life. Um, so the Bible says we ought to choose our friends wisely. So that's another way that you can look at it. If you confront somebody with humility, like Coach Lisa said, and they choose to still, uh, get offended or whatever, because you boldly confess what you wanted to say that's on your mind, um,
Mhm.
then maybe that person wasn't supposed to, maybe it's time for that person to move on. So that's just a thought.
Yes,
So thank
ma'am.
you so much for sharing that. That was awesome. That was deep. I have my notes, and it was right on point, because something like that happened to me today. So, and I hope I hope everyone out there was encouraged too. Coach Lisa, you had anything else to say before we end our session?
um, yes, just like Andrea said, this is a very good and deep and sensitive subject. Um, but read your Bible. The Bible is here to instruct us. It's here to instruct us in our mannerism, how we talk, and like Andrea was talking about, if people get offended, you know, and if you can't solve that, in the Bible, it does say you can take it to someone else. And then if it's still not resolved, then you did your part.
Right.
You did your part, and God has to work with that person. And if it's meant for that person to come around and be in your life, then so be it. If not, then it's still no love lost.
Right.
So thank you again. And we'll be on here, or Andrea will be on here on tomorrow, Tuesday,
Oh,
for
yes.
Tasty Tuesday. Have a good evening, and we love you, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye, everyone.